The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe podcast, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s and 90s toys, and all things nostalgia. We are part of the Dorkening podcast network, and we're brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for. And this week we're jumping in the Warp Pipe and we're taking a look at Christmas commercials. Now, these used to air during Christmas specials back in the day on this thing called cable TV. Yeah, some of you might still have cable. I mostly stream my stuff, so nowadays I don't get to experience the Christmas commercials. But back in the day, they certainly were something to look forward to. So hopefully we could jog your memory on some of these commercials, bringing that nostalgia to you. Want to wish everyone a happy and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for listening to the Weekly Warp Pipe. You can catch us on the weeklywarppipe.com, where you can find all our episodes, pick up merch like coffee mugs, magnets, stickers, and all that good stuff. Before we get into the episode, here's a word from our sponsor.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds Coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
What's up, everyone? RussLyman here.
What's up, guys? It's me, your boy, NES Addict.
And welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe. Also, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
So maybe you're listening to the podcast before you're opening some Christmas presents and having dinner. So we appreciate you spending Christmas with us. If you're listening past Christmas, well, hopefully you're still in the Christmas spirit. We're going to be discussing some Christmas commercials. Jay thought this would be a fun idea last episode, so he did a little research on this here, because Christmas time growing up, 80s and 90s, you would see tons of Christmas commercials trying to pitch you gifts that you want your parents to get you for the holiday season, pretty much, right? Exactly.
And some, just to kind of get you in the mood, I guess,
Yeah, to put you in that spirit. Just maybe to show that the brand of that company, enjoys the holidays as well.
That's right.
Yeah. So we put together a pretty good list. Maybe you guys will remember some of these. I guess we'll watch them. I'll have them on our little TV down here without the audio. And we'll kind of maybe describe what we're seeing. And we have a couple of points and facts that we wanted to point out about each commercial and stuff, but yeah,
exactly.
Christmas commercials.
So Russ, am I going to be able to see this when we're looking at this? Or are we kind of watching on our own independently?
What I did was, I already previously watched all these on YouTube, so I'm in my YouTube history tab, so I can just kind of re-click on whatever video we want to discuss first.
Gotcha. All right.
And watch it play. Maybe we can mute it so I can hear what you're saying and me reacting or whatever.
So let me get to my history here, and we'll do the same. We'll just kind of follow suit. So the first one I wanted to talk about was an older Norelco Razors commercial that I remember seeing as a kid. It says it came out in 1981, but I swear it ran in syndication longer than that, probably in the mid 80s. And they may have just revamped it a little bit. But basically, we'll just watch it here and react to it, I guess.
I'm trying to see if I found the right one, because I see one that says 1971 Christmas. Is it a snowman shaving?
No, it's Santa Claus, and he's riding on a Norelco Razor.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
So tell me when you're ready, Russ.
All right, I guess I'm playing it here.
Okay.
I gotta love the animation on this.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very almost like stop motion animation kind of, and he's riding on the bottom of a Norelco Razor, the attachment that you would put to the part that you charge.
Right, making that a sled. So kind of outside of the box thinking.
Totally outside of the box. I never really understood why they thought that worked, but It's just memorable, Santa Claus is riding through the snow on a Norelco Razor.
Right.
And then at the end it says Noelco.
Clever. A plus to the marketing engineer of that.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got playing? I hear other commercials playing now.
You can hear stuff on my end?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh,
wait, unless it's me going.
I thought I had it muted. Yeah.
Maybe it was me. I blame.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
Maybe we'll get a couple of Swiftie fans.
So the next one is from 1985, and it's for the Hallmark Rodney reindeer. Now, this is a reindeer that actually is part of my Christmas decor every year. And we set him on the TV, and
it's a stuffed reindeer.
It's like a little stuffed reindeer. Yeah. He's like, like handheld. He's pretty small. He's kind of weighted like a beanbag a little bit. But if you have it queued up, we'll watch it together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's basically like all these little reindeer kind of animated, and they're kind of getting into mischief, almost like a Gizmo or like something like
from Gremlins.
From Gremlins. They're just like riding on right now he was just riding on like a turntable with a record, like skating through the house and waking up these little kids, and now they're trying to hide.
And I mean, this is probably, I wouldn't say were Beanie Babies big then? Maybe
in '85. No, that was like a mid '90s thing.
Because he's almost like a plush Beanie Baby. Like certain parts of him are like thicker or whatever. I don't know, but it's a fun stuffed toy. Like you said, you get the toy and then you can use it as your Christmas decor. Would you put him on the tree, or what do you got him on a shelf?
So like he sits at the base of my 50-inch TV.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture later to give you a better understanding. And he kind of just, his arms are like spread eagle. He's just kind of sitting there.
Right.
But it was just a toy that I remember wanting as a kid, like because of the commercial. I mean, the commercial did its job. I want Rodney Reindeer. Do you guys remember Rodney Reindeer?
And I wonder, see, like kids growing up now, I don't have cable. So I oftentimes don't see any commercials because most of the stuff we're watching is streaming. It's on Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube.
Yeah.
And even on YouTube, I pay for the premium YouTube, so I don't get any ads. So I don't even see those commercials.
Oh, wow.
If you were to pitch a commercial to me on there. So I don't know if there's any like Christmas themed commercials that kids are going to remember, from years to come down the road.
I don't really watch like TV with my antenna unless my mom's here, because she likes to watch some of like the regular channels that you can still get.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of what I do is streaming. Now I'll see commercials here and there with my kids watching YouTube because we don't pay for it. We're cheap. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if kids will have that nostalgia for commercials the way we might, back then.
Right.
Because they're always wanting to skip commercials. And I'm like, come on, like commercials are one of the best parts. And they're like, no, get it off.
Right. They're like,
so they don't even appreciate
gratification.
Exactly. Kids suck.
What are the classic commercials we got? The McDonald's one.
This one doesn't really have like a date that I can find. But I just remember
80s though, right?
I'm thinking like later, mid, 85 to 88, somewhere right in there in that 3-year time frame. Maybe 89. But basically it's like there's no talking in this commercial whatsoever. It's all action.
Just music, and you're just watching the story unfold essentially.
Yeah, so it's like Ronald McDonald and like 6, 7, 8 kids skating around this little pond, and there's like almost like Disney animated-esque deer and woodland creatures
right
watching.
It's like, what, out of nowhere, like what?
Yeah. And this little dude falls down
right then, on the ice rink or wherever they're skating.
Yeah, he's got this sad look in his face, like, oh, I can't skate like the rest of the kids. And who saves the day?
Ronald McDonald.
That's right, Ronald McDonald. He comes over,
reaches out a hand,
picks him up, and it doesn't really convey like much about Christmas, but it just always reminded me of Christmas because I guess it came out around that time.
Right. It came out at that time. It's snowing, winter, so you automatically think Christmas
Disassociate.
there.
Yep.
And it's not like all the kids are like eating McDonald's and have burgers and fries and all that. Like no food whatsoever in this commercial.
Isn't that the craziest part?
It just shows Ronald in there and it says Happy Holidays at the end with the McDonald logo. Like that
is it. No,
like,
not one bite of food ever.
And the kids probably saw it and were like, I want McDonald's, even though they haven't seen the product. They know Ronald, and hey, he helps out the kids and picks them up when you're down. So
he was so synonymous with McDonald's, they didn't even need food.
Right. So well done to them.
Very interesting.
Breakfast cereal, we could shoot that. Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. So 1986 Fruity Pebbles. And I think this commercial aired for several years. And there's a line that I remember the most. Russ, how well do you remember this commercial, or do you remember it at all?
I don't think I remember it at all. I bought the cereal in the past like 2 years and ate it and thought it was cool. I didn't realize it's been around this long though.
What, Fruity Pebbles?
Oh, you know what? Sorry,
Are you looking at Christmas Crunch?
I'm looking at Christmas Crunch.
Yeah. So this is 86 Fruity Pebbles.
Yes, there we go.
And so now that we're talking about Fruity Pebbles, do you remember that commercial from back in the day?
I probably do, because I did watch the Flintstones growing up. So it's almost like a very short like cartoon, essentially, like episode, but it's a commercial.
And there's one line that I think about it probably 5-6 times a year.
Okay.
And that line is, ho, 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 I'm hungry. But basically,
clever writing.
Yeah. So, Barney's always trying to steal Fred's pebbles. So he dresses up like Santa.
Right.
And he comes in to eat the pebbles because it's like the pebbles are like
what they're leaving out for Santa. Yeah.
Exactly. Almost like cookies, right? But in the midst of Barney's scheme, the real Santa comes on. So Fred's like, Barney, those are my pebbles. And then Santa looks at him and goes, it is the season to be sharing, Fred. And he's like, all right, pal.
And then they share a bowl. And they show Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles together.
And they show Fruity Pebbles, and that's it. But yeah, that ho ho ho, I'm hungry. Please leave in the comments below if you specifically remember that line, because it stuck with me.
It's good writing for that, for sure.
Over 30 years.
Still use it to this day when you get hungry.
Exactly. And Russ, I hope that you adopt it too.
I'll tell the wife when I wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, you go, ho, 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 I'm hungry. See what she says.
We'll switch gears from breakfast cereal to beer.
Beer. The real man's breakfast. So, do you remember anything about the Budweiser Christmas commercials, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were a staple growing up. The commercial itself shows off their Clydesdale horses.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's almost like the McDonald's commercial we spoke of, where I don't think there's ever a beer shown. There's not like ridiculously healthy looking people playing volleyball on the beach, drinking beer. It's just this old school, like a horse-drawn carriage with all these humongous, beautiful Clydesdale horses
in the snow. Yeah, going
in the snow. It looks like a picture for Courier and Ives.
What is that?
It's in that song. It'll be like a picture print from Courier and Ives. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our... I had to sing.
There you go.
I actually own a Courier and Ives picture in my house. It's a holiday scene. Google it. But anyway, yeah, no beers drank. And I think at the end, I'm getting to the end now. It just says wishing you the very best.
Right.
And it almost has like a Christmas card like picture at the end.
Yeah, and it does even open up like that with like what's the opening? It says holiday greetings from Budweiser, and then it goes into the scene. Like you said, it's almost like a postcard you would get And you go into the winter wonderland and you see these horses, and then it ends. And it's like, hey, enjoy your holiday. I guess if there's beer in it, sure, and have some.
Yeah, but once again, like so much, like no advertisement for the actual product, but just kind of like you were saying at the beginning of all this was like just the company kind of expressing that they enjoy the holidays and want you to enjoy yours too with a Budweiser or 12.
What to get Dad for Christmas?
What every dad wants, to get wasted and forget his problems.
Lord.
You'll find out soon, Russ. All right, moving on to something more cheerful.
That's right. Being a kid and never growing up.
That's right.
The Toys R Us commercials, for sure.
That's it. So 1988 Toys R Us commercial kind of starts out with this little boy sitting in his grandpa's lap. And what are they advertising? None other than the Nintendo action set.
That's right. And I feel like this commercial is most people remember. Anytime I do any of my holiday specials, I like to put commercials in, and I always go to find this one here because it's like,
it's classic.
This is probably every kid's, dream back in the 80s to wake up and be able to get a Nintendo under the Christmas tree.
Heck yeah. That's all I wanted in 1989. And yeah, they say the very last tagline is Toys R Us, you'll never outgrow us.
Right.
And they were right. As long as they were a company, we didn't outgrow them.
I'm hoping still to they reopened inside of Macy's stores around the US. So I was hoping to maybe visit one in the near future.
Temper your expectations. It's it's a nod, and that's about it.
Right. There's a bench with Jeffrey that you could sit on and like take a selfie with. I've seen.
Yep. So I mean, hey, it's better than no representation, right?
Right. I mean, this could be a small step to maybe getting some bigger stores back. Who knows?
I would even like to see them KB toy size.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a small, store in the mall would be dope. But yeah, I mean, Toys R Us, who didn't get some kind of toy from Toys R Us at Christmas or, have their parents shop there?
Right. I mean, that definitely was a staple for me, to kind of sidetrack here, but like going to Toys R Us to Christmas shop, and just like seeing it jam packed and everyone getting like different gifts. And you're like, oh, what are they, peeking in their carriage? What are they getting? Oh, sweet. That kid's going to be happy. Like,
yeah, exactly. No way. He's getting the freaking, the USS flag.
Lucky. Right. Oh, man. All 4 turtles.
Yeah, exactly.
You definitely don't get that anymore. I would say like the malls are dead almost. Like everyone's online shopping now. Basically.
I'm very lucky that the Greenville Mall where I live is pretty booming still.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But there's a couple in the surrounding area that you walk in. There's one in Anderson about 35 minutes away, and it's like a ghost town.
Right.
So I went in there a couple years ago with my kids, and I took a camera with me, and I just shot the whole thing because I thought in 20 years this might not be here. I want to get some memories because I wish I would have done that in the 80s.
Right. To see like,
or the 90s even. Yeah. So, because so many of the stores are gone. Like there was a Disney stores gone, just different stuff. Right.
Yeah. Electronic boutique.
Yeah.
Nobody beats the Wiz. I don't.
So I didn't know that was a commercial. The Wiz was a real place until I watched the Christmas commercial from there today.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. 1988 or 9 Christmas commercial about Nintendo.
Oh, wow. And you could get it at the Wiz.
That's it. The Wiz. All right. So we'll move on from Toys R Us and jump back to cereal here. This is a cereal that I still buy at least once in the holiday season, and that is Christmas Crunch.
That's right. So this is the one I was thinking of before here.
Yeah. I don't know when Christmas Crunch started, but it was like mid to late 80s, like 86, 87 maybe. somebody had a brilliant idea to like make Christmas Crunch. And
Right.
like, I remember every year my mom would be like, Jay, I found Christmas Crunch. And it was like Jesus came down and like handed it to me. I was like always so stoked. But this is the 88 Christmas commercial.
Mm-hmm.
One of the quotes is 'twas the night before Christmas and all through the house, nothing was stirring, not even a, and he's going to say mouse, but then you hear this cat screech. That was my attempt at screeching like a cat. There you go. Hey, that was a good one. And it says, I ran to the kitchen and what could it be? Christmas Crunch for the captain and me.
They spot on with these people that wrote these commercials.
I know, and then Captain Crunch is like, oh, my Christmas Crunch cereal, however he talks.
Yeah. And the kids are just enjoying a breakfast.
Yeah. And what I really like about the simplicity of the early on Christmas Crunch was it was just Captain Crunch with crunch berries, and alongside of red, they just added green ones.
Gotcha.
And I actually prefer that as opposed to the holiday shapes that they do now.
Right. They wanted to like one up it a little bit or something.
So they have like stockings and stars and I can't even remember what else, but I just like the simplicity of just the orange, geez, not orange, green and red Christmas, like Christmas berries. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and the only other thing that I'll say about this particular commercial was they were advertising for a free ornament. And you could get Captain Crunch in a sleigh, a soggy, or Captain Crunch on a set of skis that you could hang on your Christmas tree. And I definitely at least had one or two of those.
Nice. And that, made you want to buy more so you can get all four to hang on your tree.
That's it.
You start eating in November.
That's it. Yep. I'm sure I at least got 2 boxes per holiday season.
Yeah.
Now, Russ, this next one, you gotta know this next one.
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely a staple, a commercial for sure for the holiday season. And it's even a staple candy that I have some in our Christmas candy dish, but the Hershey Kisses. They set up, they obviously look like bells. So whoever thought of this commercial, let's line them up and have them animate where like they're ringing like bells and they'll do a song.
And they're even shaped like a Christmas tree.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. How they position them. Super clever and classic for sure.
Yeah, and isn't it we wish you a Merry Christmas down 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 like
yes,
and then
that's what it is, yes.
The best part is the end where the one bell gets to like ring out like yeah. And then he finishes and then he takes his little kiss, whatever that little piece of paper is that sticks out, and he wipes it across his brow and goes,
like nailed it.
So classic, dude. That is like the most clever.
Quick 16-second commercial and pop that in probably with every like Christmas special that was on TV. Let's throw that one in. It's a fun one.
It is fun. That's so classic. All right, moving on. Another 1989 Christmas commercial. Nintendo teamed up with Pepsi.
That's right.
Very cool commercial.
Very different, like animation style too. It's not what you normally see Mario at the time animated wise. So yeah, I feel like it stands out a little bit.
It mimics more of the movements that you see in the game.
Okay.
Very choppy, like boing, boing, kind of like jumping. And he starts out, he's walking into what they deem the general store. So it could be, any grocery store you attend. And he's walking through the grocery store and you can see that you can win an action set, game packs.
Right, how they call them game pack.
Or, the Game Boy, which sucked. Just kidding. I just said it to be inflammatory. Clearly it didn't. But then it showed like, like when you go into like a grocery store, like, and they have a display, it'll have like a big cardboard cutout with like the product surrounding it. And then the little ticket you could pull to, send whatever off and try to win sweepstakes. There you go. And so then they kind of allude to showing one of those in the store. And
now I can't say I ever remember seeing one of these in the store.
I definitely don't remember seeing one either.
And I'm sure it's definitely a holy grail if any of these survived past, being in the store itself, because they were probably all thrown out once the promotion was over.
If anybody has one of these things, it's Gamer Aimer.
I was going to say.
Brandy, leave in the comments below. Do you have the stand up? And if not, get on it.
Yeah, that's definitely a hunt to get. He has he's holding a little Pepsi and it's like motorized, so he's like turning it.
Yeah.
Too. And it's got he's dressed up like Mario's dressed up like Santa. And he's got a big old red sack that says Nintendo, and he's got all the action sets coming out of it and all that. Very cool looking.
Yeah, so cool. I love that commercial.
And again, the animation on Mario is very odd, looking.
It's definitely one to look up.
Yeah.
If you don't remember it,
Pepsi Cola Nintendo commercial.
1989.
I will say, I'm probably more of a Coca-Cola guy than Pepsi, but since Mario was involved, I probably would ask my parents to, get me a pack of Pepsi for this.
Quick side note, it was probably like 92, 93. I was at Myrtle Beach for something, and there was in the middle of the mall, they had this Pepsi taste test.
Oh, okay.
And if you won the taste test, you could tell the difference between whatever and whatever they were testing it against. It might have been Pepsi and Coke or Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. Whatever it was easy. They gave you some kind of little prize. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember winning that and feeling like I was so smart.
Nice.
I can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke.
I have magic powers.
Exactly.
I'd say before we get into the next few commercials there, we'll hear from some other podcasts on the Dorkening Podcast Network that maybe you guys should check out.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Steven.
And I'm Ron.
And we're the hosts of the Super Retro Throwback Reviews audio podcast.
If you like to hear the latest pop culture news with some smart-ass commentary as well as the latest movie reviews, then check us out.
Not to mention, we are a multi-award nominated and now an award-winning podcast. So we're doing something right.
God knows how that happened.
So check us out on all major podcasts and distributors, and check out Super Retro Throwback Reviews on all social media platforms.
Do you like gaming?
This game would be better if it was a battle royale.
Do you like technology?
I bet this tech would work better if it was a battle royale. Do you like movies, TV shows, and everything else that me and Nate can't agree on?
The Last Jedi was easily the best Star Wars film I have ever seen.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Everybody in this room is stupid now because of you.
Talking Gaming and Tech is a bi-weekly podcast where we cover the latest, greatest in gaming and tech. Now part of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Talking Gaming and Tech is a podcast produced by Tech Prime Media. You can find us on YouTube and all other social media platforms. You can find Talking Gaming and Tech on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcasts from.
This podcast is filmed live.
If you want to check us out while we're filming live, remember to follow links on social media and your comment might be read on air.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all of the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network with new episodes every Technical Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And we're back. Awesome. All right, we got a couple more commercials to discuss here. Oh, this is a good one too. The 7-Up.
Yeah, you remember this, Russ?
1991. I definitely remember this one growing up.
So yeah, basically, you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys remember the drink 7-Up, they had their mascot Spot, which is a red circle with sunglasses, and then he has like arms and hands that are like almost like he's got like white hands and very thin, almost like stick figure hands and legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were fun little characters. And this commercial is just a fun Christmas themed commercial. It opens up where Santa's dropping off the gifts, and the spot guys hop off the 7-Up can, and they want to catch a glimpse of Santa, so they climb up to the rooftop and they see him flying in the sky, and they're like, why is there for some reason there's a fire truck on the roof, like a toy fire truck.
I think it like fell out of his bag.
That makes sense. So they jump on it and they're like, let's go, and they're like sliding off the roof. They go into a tree, come back into the house, crash into the tree inside, and little boy comes downstairs. He's like, whoa, like Santa brought me a toy and
got me a fire truck.
Yeah, and the spot guy's just hanging in the Christmas tree like
like ornaments. Yep. Real quick commercial. Just so much fun though. Very nostalgic.
Fun. Yeah, fun. Has that Christmas spirit because you see they don't even show. They show like Santa Claus's hand just putting some presents in a stocking and then him flying. Like you don't even get to see much of him. So it has that mystery.
That's right.
Oh. But again, they're not really. They're not even like the kid's not drinking 7-Up or any of that. Like it's just they're the mascots embracing the holiday season.
That's right.
Like, maybe have a 7-Up while you're opening some presents. I don't know.
That makes me want a 7-Up right now.
I don't think I have 7-Up in probably 10 years. I always drink Sprite if I'm going to have like a citrusy drink. I can't say I go for 7-Up.
So little fact to be known, Sprite is my all-time favorite soda.
Oh, how about that?
And I can drink a 2 liter of Sprite in like a couple hours. Because I'm so addicted to the taste of it that I'll pour a glass, I'll drink it, and I'll be like, okay, I want more. And then like after like, it's not healthy, I'm sure, but like after like 4 or 5 drinks of it, it's gone. But yeah,
we just went to Five Guys Burgers and Fries for some food, and they have the soda machines there with like the 50 flavors, touchscreen, and they had holiday flavors. And they had a Sprite with vanilla in it. So it was called like Winter Mist or like something stupid.
Oh, weird.
So I was like, I'll give it a shot.
What are your thoughts on that machine? Sidetrack real quick.
It's pretty fun. I mean, this way it gives you plenty of variety. Oh, I want a vanilla Coke, or maybe I want cherry Coke, or maybe I want vanilla Sprite, or you can certainly mix a ton together.
I like it for the Coke, the vanilla and cherry Coke, but I feel like it always makes my Sprite taste gross. When I was
going to say, do you think the flavor is off?
When you pick regular Sprite, it is not on.
Okay.
And it drives me crazy because that's my favorite drink.
Well, also, I can only imagine the bibs that the soft drink comes in have to be so tiny to fit in that machine because you need like 15 of them or whatever to make the different combinations.
Yeah.
Rather than if you have your 5 sodas, you're getting a, 10-gallon bib. It maybe the concentration is just better quality at that level.
I don't know. It tastes amazing at McDonald's, but yeah, I don't like this. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought I'd bring it up.
Anyways, question: what do you leave out for Santa Claus? You leaving out soda? Leaving out milk? What's your go-to?
I mean, I feel like it's always got to be like cookies, right? Like Santa wants cookies and milk.
Right. Okay. So what kind of cookie are you thinking?
So we usually like bake like I don't even know what those would be called, like sugar cookies almost.
Okay.
And then like we make homemade icing.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's usually green and red.
Yep.
Maybe some blue. And we decorate all the cookies and then leave those out, and maybe Santa wants some Sprite this year. Hot milk doesn't sound so good.
You leave hot milk?
No, you know what I'm saying? But like if it sits out a few hours,
okay.
It's at least room temperature.
Dad, don't forget to heat up the milk for Santa.
Yeah, make it nice and thick for him.
We watched
Choke it down.
We watched the channel Food Theory.
Okay.
Matt Pat, he has game theory and film theory and all that. So on Food Theory, he did a whole episode on how many calories Santa would consume going to every kid's house in one night. And of course, it was astronomical. But what I found out is where he would start delivering presents would be in I think the Netherlands and Australia due to the time zone differences. And all those countries leave him beer.
Oh my God, he'd be wasted before he gets to us.
And it was like Europe was beer and a mince pie or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was all beers. And I think we were the only ones that left milk for some reason. Us in Canada, I think.
Maybe we're trying to sober him up.
I guess, right. Yeah, it's like, geez, Santa, you need a coffee and
Santa's going to throw up on the way home.
Some water and saltine crackers, maybe.
Santa's a rager.
All right.
Funny.
We got two more commercials to discuss here, video game related. So possibly you guys remember these growing up and maybe bugs your parents to get said items.
Hopefully so. The first one is 1992 with the Model 1 Sega Genesis. Matt gets a Sega Genesis, and suddenly every kid in the freaking neighborhood's knocking on his door because they want to play some Sonic the Hedgehog.
This reminds me of 8-Bit Christmas.
Yeah.
Because one kid in the neighborhood has the Nintendo, and then everyone, was coming to his house to see who's going to let me play. So definitely hit some nostalgia with that.
Yeah, you just you keep hearing the doorbell ring, and it's like, hey, we heard Matt got a Sega Genesis.
And then it's showing you different games too. Sonic, here's Taz, here's some Mickey game.
Yep. And by the end, the mom opens the door one last time, and the whole freaking neighborhood's there.
Right, everyone wants to come over for Sega Genesis.
They all want some Sega,
and gets you pumped too. It shows a bunch of quick clips of the games, just enough to get you excited, and you're like, "Oh, I want a Sega Genesis too. I don't want to have to be going over to someone else's house and playing it."
That's right. So, fun fact: they re-released the same commercial in '93. They did a quicker cut when he's opening the box, so you don't get to see the full box, but you can tell it's still the Model 1.
Okay.
But they show different games. They show Toe Jam and Earl. Is that what this is? Hang on real quick. They show Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay.
They show Aladdin. They show Sonic Spinball.
Oh, nice.
And they show Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, nice. All the fun games. I have all those games.
And at the end, they show the Genesis Model 2 with the new red stripe up the side.
Oh, yeah.
So with the new branding.
So it's just a slight tweak.
Slight tweak. Probably pretty easy to edit, I think it was a smart move to cut the box opening a little short just so you can't really,
Right, because it's wrapped like a Christmas present, so he's tearing the Christmas paper off of it and then, cut away quickly so you can't see that.
So you don't realize it's the old box, exactly. Yeah. I mean, because no one's going to pay attention to that, so.
Right, the kids are like, "Whoa, what was that game? What was that game?"
That's right. Sega.
And then to close us off, one more video game. This one definitely stands out. I would have to give it 10 out of 10 for creativity on this one.
I would give it 10 out of 10 for reeks of the late 90s.
Nice, that works too.
So it's the Nintendo 64 Christmas commercial, and these dudes, there's these 4 dudes standing in the snow with a snowman beside them, and they're rapping, and they're wearing big baggy coats. They look like a reject boy band. Because when I first saw it, I was like, is that NSYNC?
Yeah, they almost have their each here's the spiky blonde kid. Here's this one here.
Yeah, you ever seen the movie Can't Hardly Wait?
I'm sure I have. Yeah,
they look like what's Seth's name? Seth. Oh man, Seth Green.
Seth Green.
They look like, it looks like something Seth Green would wear
yes.
in the movie Can't Hardly Wait. They got goggles on their head, they're about to go do some extreme snowboarding.
Right.
And they're rapping about how their parents suck and like
they're gonna get clothes.
They're getting stupid clothes, dumb shoes and CDs no one's ever heard of from the bargain bin, and all they really want is like some N64 games. And I guess the 4 that they mention are Zelda.
Yeah.
Was it Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time?
It might have been both. I don't know. It showed the clip that they showed was from Ocarina of Time. So
okay, so we're gonna go Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And then they showed Rogue Squadron, Turok 2, and South Park.
Yes.
So that had to be like 97, 98 if South Park was in it. I can't remember exactly when that show came out.
Yeah, because at the end they pan by all the games, the box art, and it's Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it epitomizes like the late 90s.
And the rap is in the tune of a Christmas song. So it's like Jingle Bells, right? But they're singing about Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I can't honestly remember. Let's see. I'll try to play it real quick.
Christmas really stunk. I got nothing that I like. My gifts were all just junk. Boxes full of clothes. CDs no one knows. When I wanted something for my Nintendo 64. Zelda's great. Turok 2. South Park would be fine. How about Rogue Squadron? That game should be mine. Make up for a lame.
Yeah, so, you know, I don't know how well y'all could hear that, but
I think it came through fine.
You know, pretty rappy. So, but yeah.
And it works good too with as like listening to that as like a radio commercial.
So, oh yeah,
like
nice.
Just hearing them, you know, not seeing the visuals, but like hearing them sing and like, okay, it's young kids or whatever, and them mentioning games, and you're like, oh, I seen that game. You know, I would want that.
Man, I miss those kind of commercials. Like they don't make commercials like that for the Nintendo Switch anymore. Where there's no edge to them, you know. It's like, here's Mario. That's what he is.
That's what he.
Come buy it.
Get the OLED.
Yeah, get the OLED Switch. Big white elephants.
What?
I don't know, man. It's just. I guess I was thinking of like white elephant gift, and whenever I see the OLED, I just think it's this big chunk of white plastic. I don't know. I've never bought one.
Never got one. Yeah, I still have my original Switch. Still rocking.
Same here. My kid's really hard on it though.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, Christmas commercials. Hopefully, maybe you'll see some. We watched. I would say we watched when we were talking about our cartoon Christmas episode last week. We did watch one of the cartoons, and they had the retro commercials attached to it.
That's cool.
Which is kind of neat. So it kind of puts you in a full. What would you say?
Full Nelson.
Full Nelson. Full perspective. I want to say perspective, but
the full atmosphere. I don't know.
Atmosphere. That's the word I was looking for.
Good. Sorry to say Nelson.
Being that retro Christmas vibe for sure. Yeah.
I
don't think I'll be getting any Nintendo games for Christmas this year. But
me either. I gave one.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we
went like a Secret Santa, or
no? We went to the store yesterday. We're supposed to be driving up to Ohio Friday if the weather permits. And my kids need something to keep themselves from going crazy in the car. And I know they're going to fight over Mario World, not Mario World, but Mario Odyssey. So my son's been wanting Kirby, the Dreamland or whatever the new one's called, Forgotten Land or something. Anyway,
yes.
So we went and got that from GameStop, and he's all stoked about having a new Kirby game.
Nice. Yeah, I'll keep him busy.
That's right.
Sweet. Well, guys, appreciate you listening to us and hanging out with us every Saturday. Feel free to check out the weekly warpipe.com from all our episodes. We got merch up there. We got this sweet mug. I got magnets and stickers, so you could grab that stuff. You can catch me on any social media platform at RussLyman. And Jay,
you can catch this sweet mug on TikTok and every Saturday morning right here with my buddy RussLyman.
Excellent, guys. As always, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.
Guys, have a safe Christmas.